My name is Diana Cole, and the morning I walked into Human Resources expecting a simple resolution to a professional dispute, I was instead met with a carefully constructed lie that would ultimately unravel a vast corporate cover-up. Robert Vance, the VP of HR, sat across from me with a calm, composed expression, casually informing me that my complaint was one of only 6 minor incidents they had recorded over the past 3 years, and that my concerns would be handled internally according to standard protocol. I listened to his rehearsed assurances, but a small, persistent voice in my mind immediately flagged the number 6 as fundamentally incorrect, sparking an instinctual unease that I had learned to trust implicitly during my career. For 6 years as a regional sales manager, I had meticulously documented every significant interaction and decision, developing a robust personal archive that I considered an essential tool for professional clarity and accountability. And the company mandated a system-wide upgrade 2 years prior, urging all employees to migrate their local files to a new, centralized cloud platform. I had diligently complied with every official directive. However, my cautious nature, honed by years of managing critical data, led me to maintain a redundant, encrypted personal cloud backup of all my professional communications and project files, which was a habit from prior roles. Robert Vance had repeatedly emphasized strict adherence to new HR reporting channels, asserting that all formal complaints were now centralized and fully transparent, which should have alleviated any lingering concerns about accountability. In our meeting, he maintained his placid facade, detailing how my specific issue would be reviewed with utmost discretion, and that any past incidents had been thoroughly mitigated, ensuring a safe and productive workplace environment. His calm, almost patronizing tone only deepened my suspicion, making me feel as though my concerns were being expertly minimized. So I decided that a deeper, more private investigation was warranted to uncover the full truth. I left Robert Vance's office with a serene expression, but beneath that composed exterior, my mind was already racing, meticulously planning how I would access my archived records to verify the exact history of HR complaints. Later that evening, in the quiet solitude of my home office, I methodically accessed my encrypted personal cloud backup, which housed years of diligently maintained professional correspondence and documentation. Navigating through the familiar folder structure, I located the HR Communications subfolder, which contained every official and unofficial report I had ever been privy to or involved in. As I began sifting through the chronological list of emails and attachments, a chilling pattern emerged. There were not 6 complaints, but 19 separate, distinct incidents spanning the same 3-year period Robert Vance had referenced. Each unredacted email detailed a specific incident of harassment, clearly marked with the original dates and names, revealing a systematic suppression of complaints that painted a drastically different picture from Vance's narrative. Robert Vance's name was consistently attached to the internal closure emails for many of these cases, often indicating that the matters had been resolved without any formal disciplinary action or follow-up, which was alarming. My initial shock quickly solidified into a cold, precise fury, devoid of melodrama, as I grasped the full extent of the deception and the sheer audacity of Robert Vance's calculated lies. I spent the next several days meticulously cross-referencing my findings with federal employment law, focusing specifically on EEOC guidelines and protections against workplace harassment, building an unassailable foundation for my next steps. Every date, every name, every detail from my archived emails was carefully organized into a comprehensive timeline, forming an incontrovertible body of evidence against Robert Vance and his systematic cover-up. During my deep dive, I uncovered a critical internal audit memo from a previous year that subtly hinted at a performance incentive for HR leadership tied to maintaining low official complaint numbers, which immediately raised a red flag. Further investigation revealed that Robert Vance had received a staggering $1,200,000 in risk management performance bonuses over the past 3 years, directly correlating with his successful suppression of documented harassment incidents. This substantial $1,200,000 financial incentive provided the undeniable motive behind his systematic burying of legitimate complaints, directly impacting the well-being of numerous employees for personal gain. With my evidence perfectly assembled, I contacted a respected employment lawyer who specialized in federal discrimination cases, presenting him with a meticulously organized and fully documented digital file containing all my findings. After reviewing my comprehensive file, the lawyer confirmed that I possessed an exceptionally strong case against both Robert Vance and the company, advising me on the precise legal mechanisms required to proceed with an official complaint. Following his guidance, I formally filed a comprehensive complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, providing all my meticulously collected digital evidence detailing the 19 suppressed harassment reports and Vance's financial incentive. The EEOC responded with remarkable speed, initiating an immediate and thorough investigation into the company's HR practices and placing Robert Vance at the center of their inquiry, signaling the imminent exposure of his deceit. Within weeks, Robert Vance was placed on indefinite administrative leave, an announcement that sent controlled ripples of shock and quiet understanding throughout the entire organization as the truth began to emerge publicly. The company, facing undeniable evidence and the threat of severe penalties, quickly moved to settle with the 19 affected employees for a significant, undisclosed sum, and Robert Vance ultimately faced criminal charges for obstruction of justice. My actions forced a complete overhaul of the company's HR reporting systems and accountability measures, and they were compelled to forfeit the $1,200,000 in illicit bonuses that Robert Vance had accumulated by actively concealing the truth. I continued my work, knowing that my meticulous documentation had not only secured justice for myself and others, but had also established a precedent for transparency that would resonate long after the dust settled. My justice was silent, a precise calculation of what was owed and what was truly taken, reminding everyone that the truth always surfaces, regardless of how deeply it is buried beneath the weight of ambition and deceit.